Block 1. Great Filter Explained. Hello, science enthusiasts, and welcome back to the channel where we tackle the biggest questions in the universe. Today, we're venturing into a topic that is equal parts fascinating and deeply unsettling. Look up at the night sky. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, contains up to 400 billion stars. And our galaxy is just one of an estimated 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. The numbers are so mind-boggling they almost lose meaning. With all of that cosmic real estate, with countless planets orbiting countless suns in the habitable zone, a simple, profound, and deeply disturbing question arises, famously asked by physicist Enrico Fermi over lunch in 1950. Where is everybody? This is the heart of the Fermi Paradox. The universe is ancient, vast, and appears to have all the necessary ingredients for life. Statistically, it should be teeming with civilizations, many of which would be billions of years older and far more advanced than our own. Yet, when we point our telescopes to the heavens, we are met with a profound and deafening silence. There are no alien radio signals, no fleets of starships, no galactic empires. There is nothing. This cosmic quiet has puzzled scientists for decades, and many theories have been proposed to explain it. Maybe interstellar travel is just too difficult. Maybe they're hiding from us. Or maybe, just maybe, there's a far more chilling reason. This brings us to the focus of today's video, the terrifying hypothesis known as the Great Filter. Proposed by economist Robin Hanson in the 1990s, the Great Filter isn't a physical wall or a barrier in space. Instead, it's a theoretical concept that suggests there is some point in the development of life, from its very origins to a galaxy-spanning civilization, that is so improbable, so difficult to overcome, that almost no species ever makes it past. It's a cosmic final exam that virtually everyone fails. To truly grasp this, let's think of the journey of life as a series of crucial sequential steps. First, you need the right star system with a habitable planet. Then, life has to begin from non-living matter, a process called abiogenesis. From there, that simple life must evolve into more complex forms, like the jump from simple prokaryotic cells to complex eukaryotic cells that make up all animals and plants on Earth. After that, you need the evolution of multicellular organisms, then the development of tool-using animals with large brains. Those animals need to develop intelligence, language, and eventually a technological civilization. And finally, that civilization must survive its own technological adolescence and go on to colonize other worlds and eventually the galaxy. That's a lot of steps. And the Great Filter theory posits that at least one of these steps is astronomically unlikely. Let's break down some of the candidates for this filter. Could it be the very beginning? Abiogenesis, the spark of life itself? We still don't know exactly how life emerged from the primordial soup on Earth. Despite our best efforts in the lab, we have not been able to create life from non-life. It might be a 1 in a trillion chemical fluke, making Earth one of the only places in the entire galaxy where it ever happened. If this is the case, the universe isn't silent, it's just barren. Or maybe simple life is common, but complex life is the real hurdle. For nearly 2 billion years, life on Earth was nothing more than single-celled bacteria-like organisms. The leap to complex eukaryotic cells with a nucleus and specialized organelles like mitochondria was a freak accident. It's thought that one simple cell engulfed another in a symbiotic event that has perhaps only happened in our planet's history. If this is the Great Filter, then the cosmos could be filled with planets covered in simple slime, but virtually none of them ever evolve creatures that can think, build, or dream of the stars. What about intelligence? A big brain is metabolically expensive. It consumes a huge amount of energy. Evolution doesn't have a long-term goal of creating philosophers and rocket scientists. It just favors what works for survival. Dolphins are intelligent, but they won't be building spaceships anytime soon. Perhaps the specific evolutionary pressures that led to human-level intelligence, with our unique combination of abstract thought, language, and opposable thumbs for tool-making, are so rare that we are a cosmic anomaly. The Great Filter theory forces us to re-evaluate our place in the universe. It reframes the eerie silence of space from a simple puzzle into a potential warning sign. The lack of any contact, any signal, any evidence at all implies that something is preventing civilizations from reaching a stage where they can make their presence known on a galactic scale. The crucial, terrifying question that this theory leaves us with is not that the filter exists, but where it is on this cosmic timeline. Is it a hurdle have already miraculously cleared? Or is it a looming threat, a final boss battle that awaits every advanced civilization? A test that, so far, no one has ever passed? The answer to that question has the most profound implications imaginable for the future of humanity. Block 2. Alien Extinction Theory. In the first part, we established the chilling concept of the Great Filter, a theoretical barrier so difficult to overcome that it stops almost all life from achieving a galactic presence, thus explaining the silent universe. We've laid out the evolutionary ladder and identified several steps in our deep past that might have been that 1 in a trillion event. This brings us to the most critical question of all. Where is the filter? Is it behind us or is it in front of us? The answer determines whether we are the first or the next. Let's first explore the more optimistic, albeit lonely, possibility. The Great Filter is in our past. This is the "we are special" scenario. If the filter was, for example, the initial spark of life or the leap to complex cellular structures, then humanity has already cleared the greatest hurdle in the cosmos. We won the cosmic lottery. This would mean that the universe around us is vast and empty, not because life is doomed, but because it is exceptionally, breathtakingly rare. We might be the first, or one of the very first, intelligent species to ever emerge in our galaxy. This view aligns with concepts like the rare Earth hypothesis, which argues that the specific conditions on Earth, from our protective gas giant Jupiter to our large moon stabilizing our axial tilt, to our placement in the quiet suburbs of the Milky Way, are the product of an incredibly long and lucky chain of cosmic coincidences. If this is true, the silence of the universe isn't a funeral dirge. It's the quiet of an empty stage waiting for the first act to begin. Our act. It bestows upon us a profound responsibility. If we are the galaxy's first flicker of consciousness, our future is not predetermined by the failures of others. The cosmos is our open frontier, a blank slate for us to write our story upon. But now, we must turn to the other possibility, the one that keeps astrobiologists up at night, the one that turns the Great Filter from a fascinating thought experiment into an existential terror. What if the filter is not behind us, but of us? If this is the case, then the universe isn't empty. It's a graveyard. The silence we observe is the sound of extinction. A vast, silent, cosmic graveyard of civilizations. This possibility suggests that the steps we've taken so far, life, complexity, intelligence, are actually quite common. The universe in this scenario has been filled with countless emerging civilizations over its 13.8 billion-year history. They all grew, they all learned, they all built technologies, and they all looked up at their stars with the same wonder we do. And then they hit the filter. And they died. What could this future filter be? The terrifying answer is that it is likely a trap of a civilization's own making.
Once a species becomes intelligent enough to develop advanced technology, it might inevitably create the means of its own destruction. Think about it. We developed nuclear weapons less than a century after we figured out radio. The power to reach the stars is inextricably linked to the power to extinguish ourselves. A global nuclear war could be a filter that many civilizations fail to navigate. Or perhaps it's environmental. A civilization might become so successful at exploiting its planet's resources that it triggers an irreversible climate collapse, leading to mass extinction before it can ever become a multiplanetary species. Then there's the specter of artificial intelligence. We are actively trying to create a superintelligence that could solve our greatest problems. But what if that intelligence becomes uncontrollable? An AI that is orders of magnitude smarter than us could see humanity as an obstacle or simply be indifferent to our survival as it pursues its own goals. This could be a technological filter that is almost impossible to foresee and even harder to survive. Other potential filters include genetically engineered pandemics that escape the lab, nanotechnology that runs amok in a gray goo scenario, or even a social or political collapse that plunges a species back into a pre-technological dark age from which it can never recover. The list of potential self-inflicted apocalypses is long and growing with every new technology we invent. This is the chilling scientific proof hinted in our title. The proof is the silence. The fact that we haven't heard from civilizations billions of years older than us, who should by all rights have colonized the galaxy by now, is a stark and ominous piece of evidence. It suggests that no one, absolutely no one, has made it past the stage we are currently in. Every time a civilization gets to the point of splitting the atom and reaching for the stars, it hits a wall and vanishes. The silence is a warning. It tells us that the path ahead is more dangerous than we can possibly imagine. So, when we look out at the silent cosmos, we might not be looking at an empty void. We might be looking at our own future. The question the Great Filter forces us to ask is this: are we any different from the countless
May have come before? Or are we just the next in a long line, destined to become another silent echo in the great cosmic graveyard? The choice, for now, is still ours.